Oh, hello. Yeah, a series of videos about what we might do after the virus. Thought I'd sort of do the whole left-wing fascist bit today. I don't really know what that means, I'm afraid. But it's one of those phrases that's out there quite a great deal at the moment. Today, going to talk about Laurence Fox. Um, I'm actually going to be quite pleasant about Laurence Fox. People that have seen my other videos might believe that I'm not going to be, but he did an interview with The Sun yesterday, possibly 2 days ago, and I thought it was really interesting because he is somebody who is all over the internet at the moment. He is absolutely everywhere because he's been cancelled from everything because he holds the wrong views. And it's become the sort of new darling of the right for him speaking his mind about things. But what I thought was really interesting about the interview was the fact that Laurence Fox is kind of nearly there. He complains about the fact that people criticise him for example, white privilege, and then the interview actually accurately describes that. Um, he's famous for going on Question Time. I will put a link down below to that. And I don't honestly know why he was invited on to Question Time. It's a political show, but anyway, he got into a bit small argument, a tiny argument with a woman about Meghan Markle, and she accused him of being a white privileged male. I think the most interesting thing about the clip, if you watch the whole of it, is the fact that the BBC panelist chair just simply shut down the conversation by saying that it couldn't be racism because Priti Patel said it wasn't. So there you go. It's from the horse's mouth. Priti Patel says it's not racism, so it just isn't. Yeah, from a privileged woman. This is good. But on the back of this, he's made all sorts of quite strange claims about having threats against him and not getting any work, and the BBC are out to get him. But as I say, the interesting thing is that a bit later on in the interview, and this is with The Sun, by the way, he goes on to describe his own background, and he recognises the fact that he comes from a privileged background. Yeah, I mean, he comes from the Fox acting family, and he freely admits that having left Harrow School, probably the number two school in the country, to become a gardener. Oh no. He then was able to go to acting school because people would look favourably on him. Yeah. And what I really just want to say today is, Laurence, you're so nearly there, mate, okay? You can't reject structural inequalities in society whilst recognising your own. And I realise that you come from a background where that isn't usual, okay? Rich white people just don't operate in that sort of environment. If you look at people like, for example, in the New Culture Forum and other sort of right-wing talk shows, they're all people that come from exactly the same class background. It's about class, mate. And you yourself, in the interview, do recognise financial inequality, which might be called a sort of class thing, potentially. Yeah, yeah. Please, just think a little bit more. I think you're so nearly there. You could read Communist Manifesto. Link down below. It's freely available on the internet, or if you've got an open library, you could just go there and read it there. It takes you about an hour, okay? And that'll describe exactly what's going on. Because you're nearly there, like I say, and you come across as basically an affable and nice guy. And I just think it's a shame that you're kind of hanging out with other people that realistically are just going to reinforce you in a slightly different way. Just to reinforce the thing about structural inequalities, I mean, you come from a well-off background. You went to Harrow School. You display so many aspects of privilege. You might not like it about your skin color. Okay, fine, but there's so many other aspects of privilege, and so many of the people that you're going to end up talking to are privileged people. They are people that went to public school. They are people that went to Oxbridge, usually Oxford. Okay, These people are all the same. And of course, they don't recognise structural inequality. They don't really want to, because that means asking themselves some awkward questions about why exactly it is that they're in the position that they're in. I always think to myself, it's strange that so many politicians really dislike the working class. Why do they dislike the working class so much? Why do they want to hammer the working class, in particular like the Conservative Party? And it is to do with that structural inequality thing. Yeah. Because if you come from that background, if you're Boris Johnson or one of the rest of them, if you come from that background, you have to think to yourself that the reason why these people are poor is because they're stupid. How do we know they're stupid? Well, because they're poor, but also they must be because you're not particularly intelligent. And if you do actually look at people in government, you can certainly see a great deal of not particular intelligence at work. So poor people must be stupid, or they must be lazy, and therefore they must be punished for it. But the one thing they mustn't do, of course, is question the structures which allow deadbeats like Chris Grayling to get into Parliament. Anyway, yeah, Laurence Fox, please do, mate. Just a bit more reading. I think you're about to. I think we might actually get you. It'd be great. Couple more years, you'll get there, mate. You will, seriously. And I wish you luck with the acting. I'm sure you're going to be fine. Okay, you don't want to work for the BBC. I would pay your TV licence though, because I think that's illegal. Yeah. Anyway, just an idea.